Hello everyone, hope we're doing well. So today's video contains two transfer updates. The first one in relation to a current West Ham United player in Alphonse Areola, and the second one in relation to a West Ham transfer target in Keane Lewis-Potter. So it's sort of the West Ham transfer rumour show, but it sort of isn't, because the sources are really good. It's like the reliable West Ham transfer rumour show. A bit of a new one, isn't it? You don't often get reliable rumours. These are reliable stories anyway. So in regards to Areola, it comes from Gianluca Di Marzio, a really well-respected journalist. He's claiming that West Ham United are set to activate the clause in his current deal, which will see him remain at West Ham beyond the summer. And then with Keane Lewis-Potter, Hull City are claiming that they will reject 30 million. 30 million, they'd reject it. I know what you're thinking, well, who's the source on this? It better be bloody good to claim that. It's the Hull City owner. Can't really get a better source than that, can you? I mean, I guess the question here is, do you believe him? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure I do. If a £30 million bid landed on his desk, no messing, for Keane Lewis-Potter, would Hull City reject it? I'd be very impressed if they did. Anyway, that's the two transfer rumours that we're going to be discussing today in the reliable West Ham transfer rumour show. But let's start with Areola. Let's give us the story first of all. So in the last 24 hours, Gianluca Di Marzio has claimed that West Ham are set to activate the clause in his current deal. This has been backed up by Fabrizio Romano, a other well-respected journalist. So we've got two good journalists suggesting the same thing here. And it ties in with something The Athletic reported about a month ago. So The Athletic reported that there was almost a secret clause in his deal. So when we signed Areola, we all knew there was an option to buy for around about 11 million in the summer 2022, this transfer window. We could buy him for 11 million if we wished. Happy days. But a month ago, The Athletic revealed there was also a loan deal in there. West Ham could just simply loan him for next season if they wish to. Happy days. This has been backed up by Di Marzio and Fabrizio Romano, but neither of them are really sure which clause West Ham is set to activate. They're in talks with PSG, is what they're wording up as, and that they're going to have Areola at West Ham next season, but whether it's a loan or a permanent deal, that remains to be seen. Now, naively, of course, a month ago when The Athletic did that article, I did the video, and I remember saying, well, if we can buy him for 11 million or sign him on loan for next season, why would we pay 11 million now? Why would we not financially kick the can down the road, move that 11 million fee to the summer 2023, because then it bumps up this summer's transfer kitty. It means that we can have another look at our Areola. We can have a year's look at him again before deciding whether to buy him for 11 million. And also, and perhaps less likely and less meaningful in regards to this conversation, we don't know who the owners of West Ham will be in the summer 2023, because we know that clause with David Sullivan and David Gold in the London Stadium is up in March 2023. So come April, it could be in the hands of somebody else. We'll have to wait and see on that one, of course. But naively, me, I don't know why I'm talking about myself like that, I suggested we'd kick the can down the road. I guess the big question is, to answer my own question, is the 11 million fee applicable in the summer 2023, or does it have an expiry date? Which is something we're seeing more and more frequent with transfers these days, where clauses are put in, where buyback clauses, so on and so forth, but they have an expiry date. So is this 11 million fee available next summer, or does it disappear? So if we loan him and we try and buy him next summer, we then have to negotiate with PSG. But last week, obviously, we discovered that PSG are keen to get Areola off their books, understandably. He's on over £100,000 a week at that club. They don't want that on their wage bill. They're dealing with their big bumper pay with Kylian Mbappe at the minute, aren't they? And they might subsidise Areola's wages to move to West Ham. I'm getting the feeling, I'm getting the vibe that Areola will be at West Ham next season. We just have to wait and see whether it's on loan or permanent. And I'm all for it, by the way. I think to have this tied up before the summer transfer window is even open would be smart business by West Ham. That position would be sorted. The goalkeeping position would be sorted, because it's believed that Lucas Fabianski signed his new contract a couple of months ago even. The club just haven't announced it. He signed it for a little while. He's going to be at West Ham next season. It's just not been officially announced by the club. But if that's true, and the Areola thing's true, that's the goalkeeping situation. That position sorted, done. Window's not even open. Good business by West Ham. And I think I really want to see Areola at West Ham next season. I think the majority of West Ham fans do as well. He's played well this season. He fits in with the squad. He fits in with the manager. I assume he does anyway, if we're going to pursue him to get him again this summer. He ticks all the boxes. It's a bit of a no-brainer transfer, isn't it, having Areola at West Ham next season? I guess the question is, 11 million or loan? we'll have to wait and see. Now, before we get on to the Keane Lewis-Potter one, this video is sponsored by the One Football app, funnily enough, where you can get both of these stories as well. It really is the best football app you can get as a football fan. The link's in the description and the pinned comments, and it's completely free to download it. It takes about 15 seconds. Give it a try. You've got nothing to lose. Get it downloaded to your phone today and check it every single day, because there's more and more stories, especially with the transfer window just around the corner. Obviously a big game on Sunday for West Ham. Not for Everton. Not a big game for Everton on Sunday anymore. But keep up to date with the latest at your squad. When you download it, ask for your favourite teams, ask for any competitions you wish to follow. Then when you click on the profile in the bottom right, click on your club badge, it'll give you all the news. For example, Craig Dawson and Declan Rice have been named in the Europa League team of the tournament for this season. Well deserved for both of them as well. Areola probably only beaten by Trapp of Frankfurt too. But somebody in that team features in tomorrow's video on this channel, so come back for that one. But yeah, One Football app, get it downloaded. Right, Keane Lewis-Potter. So, the Hull City owner, Akun Elachi, I possibly pronounced that one wrong, has claimed that they will not sell him for 30 million. Now, while I disregard his claim earlier on, what I will say, in the January transfer window, because he didn't purchase the club that long ago, I think it was just before the January transfer window, when clubs were sniffing around Keane Lewis-Potter, and he basically said, you ain't getting him, you're not getting him. And bids came in, believed to be from Brentford, and I think Tottenham are looking at him as well, and they rejected them. He stuck to his word. He was correct with what he said, which we will not accept, and we won't even accept 12, I think it was 12 million or something. But he did it. He rejected the deals. He's still there. He's got 1 year left to go on his contract at Hull City, but the club have got an option for a further year, so it's essentially a 2-year deal he's got. So Hull aren't necessarily under any pressure to get rid of him. One thing which sort of makes me think he's hinting about possibly selling Keane Lewis-Potter, and I am aware, okay, I'm not going to be as naive as I was with Areola, that he's simply trying to drive the price up for Keane Lewis-Potter, and he probably will sell him. He's probably just trying to get close to 30 million, because in the same breath he also states 30 million would basically buy him everybody that he wants to buy in the summer transfer window. Basically said he could buy a new team with that or something along that lines. But he said that, you know, when he wants something, he wants a shiny thing, he really wants it, but he's already got the shiny thing with Lewis-Potter, so there's nothing for him to want really. And listen, he's a talented boy, he's at a good club, and he's got enough money, I believe. I think he's quite wealthy. I don't think Hull City are skint. Possibly in a relegation battle next season, maybe I'm being a bit unfair to Hull, but I'd imagine they'll be in the bottom half of the Championship, barring any fantastic signings for them. Enough. It just feels inevitable that Lewis-Potter will leave Hull City, because if they keep him there for a further 12 months, his value's only going in one direction, and that's down, isn't it? He's not going to be this price next summer if he's still there, because they'd only have a year left. They're going to be under pressure to sell him. You know, you look at Ben Diaz, as Blackburn for an example, he's only got 1 year to go on his contract, and he's been tip removed to Premier League clubs, and 20 million is a most you see rumour too, because that's the ceiling price for somebody with 12 months to go. So I expect Keane Lewis-Potter to be at a Premier League club next season. Whether it's West Ham or not, I'm not too sure. When David Moyes was at the game, I felt like that was sort of him rubber stamping the move. You know, perhaps his scouts have gone to him and said, here's a player, and he's done his homework or whatever, and now Moyes has thought, right, this is it. It feels like Moyes watching the player in person is the final hurdle before West Ham launch a bid for him, if you like. And I would have expected it to be done by now. There was reports earlier this week, incorrect reports, which was being attributed to Baz Cooper, who is the Hull City Live journalist. So he reports on Hull City. I guess they're their most reliable journalist, if you want. And there was sort of some reports suggesting that he'd confirmed he was going to West Ham United. I can't remember what the fee was, but it was plus 30% sell-on clause, which seems a bit drastic and not necessarily something I'd expect West Ham to do, to be honest with you. I think something like that would be a bit extreme. But he's come out and denied it anyway. The journalist himself has come out and said, whoa, I've not said that, kind of thing. But it feels inevitable that Keane Lewis-Potter will be at West Ham United club. But like I said, I just expected West Ham to perhaps make a move by now. And I'm aware our season's not finished yet, but it finishes in 2 days' time. It's not that far away. We're being linked to this player, that player, and the rest of them. But Hull City's season's been over for a week or 2 weeks now. Yeah, 2 weeks now the Hull City season's been finished for. So there's no reason to not begin negotiations with a Championship club should be that be the player he wants. So it's one of them we'll have to wait and see. As for the 30 million, I admire it. I admire Hull City's stance on it, and we're doing the same with Declan Rice. You know, I can't sit here and complain and saying he's chatting rubbish when that's what we're doing with Declan. West Ham saying, well, you can have him, but he's 150 million. Hull are basically saying we can have him, but he's 30 million. A bit like West Ham and Declan Rice. Would it actually take 150 million to get Declan Rice out of West Ham? I'm not too sure it would. Would it take 30 million to get Keane Lewis-Potter out of Hull City? Again, I'm not too sure it would. I'm quite sold on it personally. I think yes, a big yes to Areola. A bit more of a hesitant yes to Keane Lewis-Potter. I do wonder if we're maybe waiting to see what European competition we're in next season, because I think if we're in that Europa Conference League, and this may be being a bit too disrespectful, I need to look a little bit more into the sides that qualify for it, but you'd imagine you'd get away with this season's squad backed up with a couple of the youngsters like Okaflex, for example. Whereas if you're in the Europa League, you feel that players like Keane Lewis-Potter might be important to bring in that won't necessarily command a starting place in the Premier League, but would get his minutes through the domestic cup competitions and the Europa Conference League. Easier said than done, because this season we've seen Moyes field relatively strong squads in every single Europa League group stage game. But perhaps that was down to lack of options, really. You know, next season in the Premier League, we've also got the 5 substitution rule coming in, which I think is important. So I think it's crucial that we have more options on the bench next season than we do this season. When I say options, obviously we had players there this season, but the likes of Alex Kral and towards the end of the season, Nikola Vlasic, Moyes just wasn't utilising them. We need to have players on the bench next season that Moyes will bring on. Essentially, Moyes has to be able to turn around in a Premier League game, look at his bench and say, if I need to make 5 substitutions, I've got at least 5 players there that I will happily trust and bring onto the pitch. Hopefully, Keane Lewis-Potter is one of them. Exciting player. Anyway, there you go. There's your reliable West Ham transfer rumour show. I'll be back tomorrow with another transfer rumour. But somebody that I'm quite excited about, and I'm a bit annoyed that it's come out already, actually. My summer contents disappeared down the Swanee quite quickly. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Catch you tomorrow.